Hey everyone, how's it going? Vondet Views here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little special one-off video that I just kind of thought up because last night I went ahead and did a double feature where I watched Planet Terror and Death Proof back to back. So I got these right here. I watched the separate DVD versions and right after I actually bought the theatrical cut on Amazon. It's shipping and it should be here like tomorrow because I want to see it how it was meant to be with like all those fun in-movie trailers. I didn't get to see all the trailers sadly because the disc versions, the separate ones, only have one trailer, which is Machete, but also coming tomorrow on Amazon is Machete, so I picked that up too. And I just really got into, this whole Grindhouse aesthetic while watching these. I found these movies to be very fun and very enjoyable, and I thought the over-the-top cheesiness of them, it didn't take away from the movies, it actually added to it. And so, being a guy born in 2000, I actually don't have any knowledge of these Grindhouse theaters, these drive-in theaters, because the only chains that we had when I was around are like MJR, AMC, like the main ones that you go to. So doing some research, I've actually found that quite a few movies that are considered Grindhouse I have here in my collection. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of explain through a definition I found online of what Grindhouse films are. We're going to go through the different ones that I found through many lists and just kind of talk about Grindhouse films. So these are the ones I have in my collection. I know there's a lot more out there that are like crazy, like Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Ferox. I don't own any of these. Maybe one day I will, but I'm not trying to spend like big money on these gross out films. Maybe if I get them for cheap somewhere, and you'll see a lot of these are that way. So enough of the intro. Let's go ahead and get started here, guys. So here I have the definition. I said, what are Grindhouse films? Asked around a few websites, and we got this. Grindhouse films are low-budget, sensationalist exploitation movies made popular in the 1960s and 1970s that feature high amounts of graphic violence and taboo themes. Originally, these films were shown as double or triple features in rundown urban Grindhouse theaters that ran films continuously, often catering to the niche audiences with edgy, gritty content. So as you can see, this wasn't your Jaws, your Sound of Music, your Wizard of Oz. This wasn't your Jurassic Parks. These were these low-budget, obscure films, which a lot of them are actually considered cult classics nowadays. I can see that looking through my collection. But back then, they were not on anyone's radar. So let's go ahead and get into this. I got a stack here of American films, since that's what the definition said. And then I got a few other what I would consider Grindhouse films from other countries, mostly Italy. So let's go ahead and get into this. Top of the stack, this here's in a random order. We have The Howling. If I've seen the movie, I'll give you a quick little breakdown on it. If I haven't, I won't talk about it. So this movie, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm very excited to check it out. Next up, movie I have seen, we got They Live. Was kind of shocked to see this was described as a Grindhouse film because it feels kind of high budget for me, but every single website you look at about great Grindhouse movies, it has They Live. One of my all-time favorite films. I love the whole meta content of it, of when he puts on the glasses, he sees the world for how it really is, and how John Carpenter calls this movie a documentary over anything else. Very cool. Love this film. If you haven't seen it, I recommend that you go check this one out. Next up, another steelbook here, and we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, another movie that I have seen, and one that I don't like to rewatch that often because it just makes me feel unclean. Like, I feel like I watched this movie and I want to go like wash out my eyes and take a shower. It's not like over-the-top gory or gruesome or any of that. It's just this atmosphere that you live in for this 90 minutes is so unsettling and so unhumane that it makes you feel that way. And this is definitely a Grindhouse classic, if I could consider it one. Next up, another all-time favorite film of mine, The Burning. If you ask me what are my top 10, top 5 favorite slashers of all time, I'm definitely going to include The Burning in that category. It feels like a Friday the 13th ripoff. However, it does Friday the 13th way better than Friday the 13th can do itself. has great characters, has a great killer, and what I really do love about this one is the mystery of it. This Cropsey guy, the bad guy who shows up in the film, he only gets one movie. There's no Burning 2, there's no Burning remake. This is the only time you see him, and he feels like such a much more mysterious psycho killer than you get in other films of this genre. Another all-time favorite, like I said, I watch these films, I realize I love Grindhouse, and now going through this stack, I do love this kind of film. We have Sleepaway Camp. It feels like a generic slasher throughout the whole film until you get to that last scene. I'm not saying anything else. If you haven't seen this movie, check it out and you'll know what I mean. That last scene is something you will never get out of your brain. It is a crazy ending to a crazy, crazy cool film. Next up, another movie that surprised me to be on a lot of people's Grindhouse list. I feel like I wouldn't put in that category, but I own it. It was on the list. We have An American Werewolf in London. Another movie that I think is ahead of its time with the practical effects and the whole way that we go about this film. However, I don't think it's an all-time great like other people do. I enjoy the movie for what it is. I think it's a fun time, but it's never going to be in one of my all-time favorite lists. Alright, next up we got another film that I think is very under the radar. I have a lot of fun with it. And it's not over-the-top gore in my eyes. It's actually kind of funny the way they go at the gore and the way they play at these characters. We have Motel Hell. This movie, if you haven't seen it, is about these two, this married couple, a man and a woman, and they own this motel where they like take the people staying there and they bury them and then they turn them into food. It's out there, it's wild. It really doesn't make sense, but it is a fun time the whole way through. Next up, maybe my favorite movie from the stack, but I don't know, I could say that a few times here. So we have Rocky Horror Picture Show, the definition of like the great B movie, the great Grindhouse film. Anytime you look up a list like this, you're gonna find this film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go check it out. It is over the top. It is a bit of a musical, so if you're not into that, I understand, but I find this movie to be super fun. Next up, the opposite of fun. I've been saying fun a lot. For this one, I cannot say that. We have Pink Flamingos. This movie is not pleasant to watch. It is uncomfortable to sit through. And it is definitely matching that definition that I read of Grindhouse, where it is uneasy and unnerving. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. I picked it up because people were telling me I had to watch John Waters, and this was like the #1 John Waters movie everyone seemed to talk about. Not sure if he's my style. I get it. I actually do understand what people find funny and interesting about this film, but for me, it just goes too much into the disgust that I can't enjoy it. Next up, a movie that I haven't seen. I feel like I should have by now. It's like a slasher classic. We have Prom Night with Jamie Lee Curtis. I'll get around to this one soon enough. Next up, another film that I have seen. We have The Warriors. This is the director's cut, and this is the only way I've seen this film. When I first watched it, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it like everyone else seems to. And then I heard online that the director's cut is actually the worst way to watch this film, so I have my eyes on the lookout for the theatrical cut, and when I get that, I'm going to give this movie a second chance, but I really don't want to give it a second chance until I get that theatrical cut, so just sitting on it for now. Next up, I have not watched this one yet because I actually just got it. This is Class of Nuke High. The next video I do that shows off my haul, you will see this film in it. So yeah, when I get around to that haul, you will see this film. Class of Nuke High, the reason I got it is there was a huge flash sale on Amazon for Blu-rays. This one was like $9. I've heard that it's out there, crazy, ridiculous. If you like those kind of movies, you'll enjoy this one, so had to pick it up. I'm actually going to show all three of these ones off at the same time. We have Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead. This is the Romero original Dead trilogy. This doesn't include the later films. Just the first three is what are considered Grindhouse. I mean, based off what I can find on the internet. Of the three, Night will always be my favorite, and I think Day might be my second favorite. I love all three of them though. I'd give them all like a 9 out of 10 or higher. That's how much I enjoy this franchise. If this is Grindhouse, then Grindhouse is my thing. Love Romero, love the Dead films. Zombie will always be my favorite franchise out there. Next up, a movie that kicked off a high-budget franchise that's still going today, but started off very low budget with a couple of buddies from college. We have The Evil Dead, a movie that I was shocked to find out actually was a video nasty in a lot of countries around the world, which means that this movie was banned. A lot of these movies, I can see banning them. They have very dark tones, very dark scenes in their films, where this one is just always played as a comedy, so not really sure how it ended up as a video nasty. It's always been one of my favorites, and I laugh at this way more than I get grossed out. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Evil Dead's an all-time classic. The next one is nowhere near a comedy, and just like Pink Flamingos, grossed me out to the point that I don't think I'll ever watch it again. It has the same vein of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where it's like disturbing to watch, but to the point where I don't want to watch it. Like, I could put back on Texas Chainsaw and, rewatch it here and there, but Last House on the Left is not something I'm looking forward to going back to, and probably never will. I do think the last third of the movie, where they finally get their revenge, is very cool, and it's very, satisfying to finally have that happen because these people are monsters. But the first 2/3 are so uneasy to sit through, it's hard to get through this one. And last up, probably the most fun film on this list, Return of the Living Dead. This is the halfway sequel to Night of the Living Dead. Due to the rights issues, the two writers went different paths. This one, actually, I think I prefer over Dawn of the Dead. It's more fun, it's more campy, it's more of that B-movie goodness, and it's definitely more up my alley, as you can see with the types of films I have here today. Alright, so that was all the films that fit under the Grindhouse category, because according to the definition, Grindhouse is American films. However, while going through the list, I found a lot more other films that were considered Grindhouse by people, but they weren't American. So here we have, gosh, I believe they're all 5 Italian films. I like to collect giallo. It's an interesting genre for me. Plus, I am an Italian citizen, so for me, I feel like I'm just giving back to that. So I got these 5 films here. I'm going to show them off one by one. First off, we got Tenebrae. Have not seen this one yet, but I do think it looks like something I would enjoy. It's by Dario Argento, which I've seen a couple of his films, and I am a fan. Next up, by Lucio Fulci, House by the Cemetery. Just picked this one up for dirt cheap at a secondhand store. Have not gotten around to it yet, but it looks like an Italian zombie film, so it seems like something I should enjoy. Also a zombie movie, so The Beyond is just like House by the Cemetery, also by Lucio Fulci, the zombie king of Italy, it seems like. I'm excited to also check this one out. And next up, we got 2 movies that I have seen. Again, Lucio Fulci. This one is Don't Torture a Duckling. An interesting concept. I like this one enough. Probably like a 7 out of 10. And then we have Deep Red, which is considered like the cream of the crop, the #1 giallo film out there. It seems like if you look up what giallo films do I need to watch online, this is everybody's #1. It is a good flick. I don't know if it's my favorite giallo out there. I wouldn't say it is, but I do think it is entertaining and definitely a need to watch for a movie lover out there. Alright, that is all the films I have in my collection that fit under that Grindhouse vibe according to the definition, according to other people online and what they have said. The ones that I haven't watched, I'm definitely going to check out next. And like I said, I've ordered a few new ones. I ordered Machete, and I ordered the complete theatrical cut of the Tarantino Rodriguez film, Grindhouse. So, gonna get into those. I know those are modern day Grindhouse films. I want to watch both modern and old, so let me know in the comments below some other Grindhouse films that you consider classics that I need to watch. I'll throw them in my Amazon cart, I'll get them ordered, and if enough people want it, maybe I'll throw a review out there. I kind of been more into doing reviews of older films than newer films. It seems more fun and timeless for me, so I'm going to go ahead and try and get a couple of those out there for you guys. But overall, I hope you enjoyed my video. Let me know below what are some Grindhouse movies that you love. Thanks all so much, and have a great day.